It's the Doug Show live.
Today, I came to party, drinking with my girls, drinking with my boys. Today, I came to party, drinking with my girls, drinking with my boys.
Yeah, I'm going to be here just going over a few of the news articles. There's so many to go over. I had to pound them all out, really. We're going to go back to back on them. And of course, I want to hear your feedback in the chat. I love all you guys out there. You guys have made this just the greatest channel and one of the great mass media experiences of my life that I've had a blast with. Throw this link everywhere to drive the views up and try to watch the commercials. It's how I get paid, even though I'm sure it's an awful task. Let me start with the first item because I'm just going to pound through a few items. Some of these are going to take longer than others. And I have links to all of these down in the description. So here's the Epoch Times with Alan Dershowitz. He's a Democrat lawyer, and he is supporting Trump in this impeachment, saying that it is unconstitutional. Congress puts itself above the law in Trump impeachment, says Dershowitz. His basic claim is that you can't impeach the president after he's already left office. That's all there is to it. Bzzzt. You don't have to go any farther than that. And then also this week, the Democrats have said that they're going to release videos showing Capitol violence. And then the Trump campaign said, well, then they're going to show violence of Democrats egging on the riots with Black Lives Matter, which I think is a really good move. What do you guys think? I put up 3 videos today and all 3 of them have been demonetized in different ways. One of them has the clip of Kamala Harris inciting violence, but it's from the Steve Colbert show. So it got just an instant copyright claim. That means that that video can't be monetized. Any of them where I've dealt with the Mark Cuban stuff and impeachment, they all got demonetized. That's just YouTube. I guess they're doing its job and we serve at their mercy. This is the most terrifying claim I've ever heard, but because we already know that all of media wants to dictate to you what the truth is, and the truth czar is going to help us all out. This is regarding election irregularities. Sorry, guys, that was a slip. Here's not a truth czar, I'm sorry, a reality czar. It's even worse than the truth. They want to talk about reality. Several experts I spoke with, oh, here come the experts, will recommend that Biden administration put together a cross-agency task force to tackle disinformation and domestic extremism, which would be led by something like a reality czar. Now, this is what they want to get into your head. And so when you say a man can't have a baby, then here comes the reality czar to scrub your mind. When you say that a man and a woman are not interchangeable at every level, they're going to come and bust your head open. They're going to make sure that you can't work. They're going to make sure that your kids can't go to school. And that's what I'm really here to defend is American free speech. Where did that go? What happened to that? Here's James McCarl. He agrees. He says it's a good one. He says, here's Nina Fiamengo says, go to Gab. I have a Gab right now. There's a link down in the description. I'm at Doug TenNapel on Gab. And this is what's cool. I asked you guys to come and follow me on Gab. And if you beat my 24,000 followers on Twitter, that I would switch over to Gab. And I got 30,000 in less than 24 hours, 30,000 Gab followers. So now I'll be posting all these videos over on Gab and making my comments over there if you guys want to join me. So that was the reality czar, just what we need. These people, the idea of brainwashing, it is so totalitarian. They love it. And guys, there's nothing to stop them right now. Like there's no giant court case or legal anything to stop the Biden administration from doing even more brainwashing. So it's going to get a little worse or maybe a lot worse before it gets better. But as long as we stay in contact and do sign up for my mailing list, because I'm sure my channel is going to get taken down, and then we'll still be able to find each other. Okay. I have some questions about Mike Lindell in here. Anyone watch Mike Lindell? Yeah, I watched the whole thing and it seemed pretty straightforward. I don't see what Again, the idea that this guy is putting something out that just turned all of America upside down and everyone's freaking out is so not true. It's silly. And when you look at what really is happening in America across all different platforms and social media, stuff that really should concern families being taxed, even raising the minimum wage will create so much unemployment for poor and minorities. The idea that Mike Lindell is somehow unraveling the fabric of reality is disgusting. Okay, and then let me find this. Where's that good one at? Where's that one at that I'm looking for here? I think this is it. Okay, let's see if this is it. Yeah, there it is. Okay, this is the Trump Jr. one. He makes a great point. Here he's talking about his dad. He's accurate, Trump Jr. said of his father's remarks. The reality is that this movement isn't over. All for the blood, sweat, and tears that you guys have put into this thing. It's very much alive and well. You see that? I mean, this is really a movement of the people, a movement against the establishment, a movement against the elite. Let me find his statement on fact checking. Here's the former president's son moved on to speak about how fact checkers on social media appear to be biased against conservatives while lenient toward the other side. Drawing from his personal experience, he said that his content is in fact checked. Even there's a little bit of irregularity. This is the best because this is true. When I look at things I put up on social media that are totally objective or that are satire, one or the other, that social media content gets fact checked so that they can use that to knock my platform to prevent me from getting any kind of reach. I see that stuff on a daily basis. I don't see it on the other side. I don't see Joe Biden getting fact checked when he said he's not going to ban fracking, and then he bans fracking. This is true. The government is now America's giant human resources department, and they basically tell social media what to do, and social media follows suit and does it exactly as they're asked. So that And so you go, oh, great, there's this fact-checking system, right? Like, let's say that when Trump, if he wins, he's going to win the impeachment, right? He beats impeachment. And people will say that, try to say that it was a wrong decision. That's all that many of us have said about the election, that it was a wrong decision. And he will not get fact-checked. There will be no little Twitter statement of the fact-checkers have checked this claim and it is patently false. Trump was exonerated from impeachment. It never goes that way. And so the left can say any lie they want. It gets distributed all throughout social media. And Google handles 90% of the servers for all of our interaction, all of our exercise of the First Amendment rights. That's how this works. And then finally, I've got this total barn burner of an article over at Time Magazine. I know that many of you have seen this already. You're asking me to cover this. So here's Time Magazine, the secret history of the shadow campaign that saved the 2020 election. Now, they call it saving the 2020 election. We all know what happened. This is the inside story of the conspiracy to save the 2020 election. Based on access to the group's inner workings, never before seen documents and interviews with dozens of those involved from across the political spectrum. It is the story of an unprecedented, creative, and determined campaign whose success also reveals how close the nation came to disaster. Every attempt to interfere with the proper outcome of the election was defeated, said Ian Basin, a co-founder of Protect Democracy, a nonpartisan, I'll bet it's nonpartisan, rule of law advocacy group. But it's massively important for the country to understand that it didn't happen accidentally. The system didn't work magically. Democracy is not self-executing. This is a liberal. It turned out Podhorzer wasn't the only one thinking in these terms. He began to hear from others eager to join forces. The Fight Back Table, a coalition of resistance organizations, had begun scenario planning around the potential for a contested election. gathering liberal activists at the social and national level into what they called the Democracy Defense Coalition. Suddenly, the potential for a November meltdown was obvious. In his apartment in his DC suburbs, Podhorzer began working from his laptop at his kitchen table, holding back-to-back Zoom meetings for hours a day with his network of contacts across the progressive universe. He got the labor movement. Guys, if you're in a union, get out, stop paying dues. The institutional left, that's everybody. Like Planned Parenthood. Remember, they're just here for birth control. No, they're the institutional left. They're a political movement, a genocidal political movement. And Greenpeace, remember, I thought we were about just cleaning up the environment. No, this is also of the institutional left. Resistance groups like Indivisible and MoveOn.org, progressive data geeks and strategists, representatives of donors and foundations, state-level grassroots organizations, racial justice activists, and others. This is how America was, there was a fight that went on. And the fight still goes on. And it's okay because this is America. We've always had political disagreement. We've always had political debate. But this was a formal group that they admit is a conspiracy. They also say it is left-wing activists and institutions like Planned Parenthood, social justice, racial justice groups, MoveOn.org, of course, we already knew about, and Greenpeace. Don't let them fool you into thinking this is about environmentalism or the rainbow flag. LGBT groups are also all in there. There really are. They're just the Democratic Party speaking on behalf of the Democratic Party, always claiming that, like this group does, they claim that they're neutral. They claim they're politically neutral. And the definition of totalitarianism and is basically all of us deplorables, people on the right, right-leaning, conservative Republicans, anyone who is remotely conservative is who they see as the enemy and who must be destroyed. So let's get back to, here's watching from Greece by people around the world. Hi from France. Look at this. That is great. I love seeing other countries. Here's London and Canada. See, this movement of freedom is not about one person. It is not about Trump, and it is not about a party. It may be best embodied in a party, and its greatest enemy might be in another party. But in the end, this is about freedom, and people around the world love freedom. America didn't invent freedom. It predates time itself. God invented freedom. The idea that you can say no to something or yes to something and you have the freedom to do it, that is an international thing that we all love and respect. Everybody on all sides. Look, there's someone from Germany is in here. Good to see you guys. Here's another one from England. Here's one from New Zealand. Look at all my guys from around the world. And I'll tell you, look, here's someone in exile in Iraq. Here's from Poland. Windsor, Colorado checking in. Minnesota. We're around the world, guys. Here's Brazil, Yorkshire. Another one from Brazil. Guys, it is so great to have you all here. And of course, from Cali, look, there's people from everywhere. We're going to fight this, guys. This is a worldwide movement. And it is, there's another one from Korea, from Florida. There's no place for violence. We fight words with words, and when you fight words, their lies with the truth. Keep getting the truth out, even when you get shut down. We have to stay connected. You have to stay sober and never let them steal your happiness. I see so much despair. I'm like, wrong move. There can be no despair, no depression. That is one of the great disciplines that I learned from Viktor Frankl, who wrote Man's in Search of Meaning. He survived the Holocaust. And he just said the people who survived were the ones who were able to find something to fight for, something good. It might be their family. It might be goodness. He said the ones that maintained a sense of humor were more likely to live longer. So keep your sense of humor. Don't let them steal your joy. You can't give people that kind of power over you. Look, there's another one from Franklin, Tennessee. That's where I'm from, Franklin, Tennessee. Look, there's one from Russia, Sergey from Russia. Hello, my Russian people. I've always had huge wait, what is that? Someone said I don't like Mike Lindell. You're wrong. I love Mike Lindell. I might even have him on the show if I get lucky. We're working on it. Here's someone from Malta. Here's another one from Iran. Anyways, guys, we're going to get through this. Stay positive. Stay together. You have to be long and patient. You have to win the long game. And there will always be short-term victories for the other side. They're beating the hell out of us right now in culture. And of course, they have their politics. But this is short-lived because you can't beat the truth. And the only way that they can get their lies to win, and this is how you know they're all lies. Black Lives Matter is a lie. The LGBT movement is a lie. Greenpeace is a lie. All of their movements are lies. The reality czar is going to be the biggest lie ever told, and everyone will say it with a straight face. The idea that they have to promote everything, that everything is pro-science that they do is a lie. Lies don't stick for long. So don't get frustrated just because they're ahead of the chess game right now. We're playing the long-term game. So guys, ways that you help this channel is getting this video out to your friends, subscribing, liking, commenting below when this goes back up. And watch this whole episode again when it goes up live within the next half hour. I'm going to take it down. It'll go back up. Watch it, and we'll get through this together. I'm going to keep winning. I do have a Rumble channel opening. I haven't started promoting it at all yet because I'm still organizing it all and doing a few tests on some titles before I go with it. But in the meanwhile, I'm on Gab, and you can check the links below to sign up to my mailing list. In case we get separated, I will always tell you on my mailing list where I am. You go to DougTenNapelInExile.com, and you replace the lettering in that box with your email and hit submit, and we'll send you a welcome letter. I love you guys. Thank you for your support. I can't thank you all enough. I'm Doug. And I have a Shopify store. You can buy my books down in the description below. I'm Doug TenNapel in Exile.